All right. Hi, I'm Auriel Grace, and happy November, right? So tonight is the Birthstone show night. We're going to be talking about Citrine and Topaz. So it'll be very fun for us because I have some specimens here and some really good notes, and I hope that you know hope you like it. Uh, if you have any questions about any of this, please put them in the comments, and I will answer your questions about the stones, where they come from, because sometimes people have questions about the different things about citrine and topaz, because they're two stones that um, citrine is a great stone for um, happiness, and topaz kind of puts a flame to the happiness. So they're great stones. All right. So um, I do have a couple of announcements though. This week, I'm Psychic, Not Telepathic. My book, I'm Psychic, Not Telepathic, and my other book, Clarity with Purpose, are on sale. The Kindle version, you can look them up on Amazon. So if you're interested in psychic development and you want to learn more, there's some really good stuff in here. And also, it includes like family stuff so that you can work with your kids, your psychic kids too. All right. And you may want to check that out. It's on Amazon at the Kindle store for 99 cents this week. Okay. So let's start talking about citrine and topaz. So both of these stones are sunshine stones. And what I mean by that is that they're positive energy stones. Um, they're great to have around the house. They're great to wear. And they're great to just like, I have lots of citrine. I went through the house today and I was like, oh, there's peace. But this is citrine. This is a citrine that's been heat treated. Okay, so it's a really pretty stone. Look, this is a this is a point. So they're naturally pointed. This one's been polished. Okay, so this is what it looks like in its natural state before it gets polished, before it um before anything happens to it after it's been cleaned. That's what a citrine looks like. Hey, Kathy. This is a larger citrine. Well, let me grab it. All right. This is a larger citrine. It has like a lemony yellow to it. So this one has not been heat treated. And what I mean by heat treated is that um, there's powders that they put on the stones and they heat them in order to bring the color out more. So when you have a stone like this citrine, it has been heat treated because the color is so bright. So if someone tells you that there's a citrine with that dark of a color and it's been polished and everything, and they say that it's not been treated, yeah, okay. But it doesn't change the stone's virtue. It doesn't hurt it. All they're doing is they're just bringing out the color in it. So it doesn't hurt it. This one has not been treated. And you can tell because it's very light. The color is really light. And if you look at it sometimes in my home, when I look at it and the sun's shining on it, it looks clear. I'm like, hey, where's your color? But yeah, so it's a really, really pale yellow. All right, so a citrine comes, it can be really pale yellow, almost clear, all the way up to a really golden yellow. And that's where you would probably talk to a gemologist about that. So if you wanted, some jewelry with citrine, natural citrine that is dark like that, you're going to have to talk to a gemologist for that because it's gem quality and it is rare. All right. So most citrine though is a pale yellow, and it's still pretty. It's still beautiful, and it still has a wonderful vibe to it. So, um, and you can find citrine in Canada, France, Madagascar, Mexico, Russia, Spain, and United States. It is an 8 on the Mohs, so it's pretty hard stone. It is. So, but don't drop it. Try to keep it safe and everything. Put them, when you put them somewhere, keep them there because of the points and that. Usually when they're polished, the points are pretty sharp, and you don't want to break the points. So just like be careful with them. All right. So again, Brazil is the leading producer of citrine. So most of our citrine comes from Brazil, and this is what they would call junk citrine. So they would put this in a pile to be put in a barrel and then sold out to people by the barrel. Because that's how I bought this piece and many others. Is they were all in a big barrel, and there were scoopers, and I went and scooped up a bunch of them, put them in a bag, and bought them. You buy them by the weight. Okay, all right. So the history and folklore of citrine. First of all, citrine, the word is derived from Latin. The word is citrina, and it means yellow, and the original word is citron, which is also means like lemony yellow. All right. So in ancient times, this cracked me up. In ancient times, citrine was carried as a protection against snake venom and evil thoughts. Ancient Egyptians used citrine gems as talismans. And the ancient Greeks carved iconic images into citrine gems. And the Greeks were really good at this, and so were the Romans. They would, somebody would have this little ring, maybe like about 10 millimeters or something like that. And they would carve in whole scenes into rings, into stones that would go into rings. And so they were really awesome at that. And some of the carvings, that are in the museums today, you wouldn't think that they would have been able to do it like 2,000 years ago, but they were able to do it. It was pretty cool. So according to ancient mythology, citrine is attributed with 2 divine deities, which is Demeter, the Greek goddess of harvest, who is associated with productivity, and Sekhmet, the goddess of war, who's associated with power. All right, so legends say that the gemstone made men more handsome and intelligent. So it was also believed that it could help women bear more children and increase happiness. So see, it's repeating that happiness thing. It's releasing negativity, or not able to keep negativity around you. Happiness. Okay, so people believe that it's the merchant stone as well, and so that citrine will bring wealth and success to you. And so this is what I do with my citrine. I have a money bag for shows. This is a citrine that I use in my money bag, and I wrap it in a $2 bill. See, this is the $2 bill. I've had this for a while. So I take the $2 bill, I wrap the citrine with the intention of doubling my money when I do shows. So I wrap it up, I roll it, and then it has its own little bag that I put it in, and I put it in my show bag, and that's like part of my little thing to bring in more money. And it's been called a merchant stone for centuries now. And there were people that would wear citrine rings and citrine jewelry to bring in that prosperity and abundance, because it does. It's a if you've ever worn citrine bracelets or necklaces or whatever, you can feel the energy of the citrine. It helps you. It uplifts you. It's very nice. All right. So so I have some links here for the show notes tomorrow when I put them up, so that you can go and check out some more folklore, and also you can check out some other beautiful citrine stones. Um, Citrine is a great stone for inspiration and prosperity. So it stimulates creative thinking and inspiration, filling the mind, freeing the mind of limitations. Hey, Iris. So it can assist with that. When you're going to do a layout with citrine, place it on the forehead. You can put it like forehead or solar plexus. The forehead is to assist with clearing the third eye, solar plexus to assist with, that stubborn feeling you might have every once in a while from obstinacy. So it assists with upliftment. Okay. All right. So it is, you can make a gem remedy out of citrine. And I did a show for gem remedies, I think last year. And if you go on YouTube, you will be able to see it. Just go to my channel and look up gem remedies, and you'll find it there. And it goes through how to make the gem remedy and how to use the gem remedy. So, because they're kind of fun to do. All right. Now we're going to talk about topaz. So I shared a link on the Auriel Grace Practical Psychic page on Facebook about topaz. It's a great video, and it can give you some more information than I'm giving you tonight, because a topaz is just, it's a beautiful stone, and I have been looking for topaz at the gym shows here in Florida, and I haven't found any. So, but I am wearing some Imperial Topaz, and I'm going to show it in just a second. But topaz comes in many colors. Okay. So, I wear a blue topaz ring for luck. So I've always loved blue topaz. And so I wear it for luck. That's what it's for. I have had topaz in the past. In fact, I was running around my house today because I thought I had some other Imperial Topaz and I couldn't find it. But this is a rough piece of Imperial Topaz. One of the things about Imperial Topaz is that it is, when you feel it down the edge, it kind of feels like tourmaline, because it has those rough striations that go up and down, right? So this is a piece that, it was cut from a bigger piece. They call this the junk Imperial Topaz, but this is what color it is. So it's kind of like a goldeny peach color. It's really very beautiful. And this is the color that I really like, because it has kind of like pinkish, peachy, golden color. Imperial Topaz is an 8 on the Mohs, but it is kind of brittle, so you have to be careful with it. You want to make sure you're not knocking it into anything, especially a rough piece, because if you have a rough piece and you're knocking it around, you might hit some of these, like these ridges, and it will knock it. It'll break it up. So you want to be careful with your Imperial Topaz, or any topaz, actually. It does look like, it does look like, kind of like tourmaline. It is 8-sided. Okay. So if somebody is selling you Imperial or any kind of topaz, and they're like, yeah, this is topaz, and you like count the sides around it. There's not 8 sides, it's not topaz. So that's one way of knowing the difference. Okay. All right. So um it is, like I said, it's 8-sided. It has a really kind of glassy look to it, transparent glassy look to it, the gem quality. Um, its colors are golden yellow, clear, orange, red, green, blue, and the blue is usually heat treated. So remember, I talked about that earlier. It's powders that they use to pull the color up, right, to make it a little bit darker, so to illuminate it more. So usually the blue topaz is heat treated. So if somebody tries to tell you that when you're buying like a London blue and they're saying, oh no, this isn't heat treated, you can say, uh-huh. Hey, Bonnie. So because this topaz right here, it's a blue one, it's been heat treated. It was probably pretty clear when they started. So, yeah. All right. So the geography for topaz is Brazil, Mexico, Myanmar, Pakistan, Russia, Sri Lanka, and the United States. Okay. All right. So it's easily obtained. It is. And the cool thing about topaz is they haven't been able to make a synthetic for it. So if they say that, oh yeah, we've got synthetic topaz, it's probably glass. So don't buy it. Okay. Just to let you know, it's an 8 on the Mohs. Like I said, an 8. So it's pretty hard, right? Um, Again, but don't knock it around. Like the one that I have right here, I can feel the ridges and that. It's not going to break up because it is not gem quality. It's not a gem quality stone, but it's a pretty stone. So, and I'll show you again so that you can see it. Oops. So that's a rough Imperial Topaz. Okay, I'm going to lay it down here for a second. I also wanted to show you this other topaz. This is a mystic topaz. That's what they're calling mystic topaz. It's in the box right now because one of the prongs are, well, I'll take it out. One of the prongs is loose. This is a mystic topaz. So what's happened with this topaz is they've taken titanium. They kind of like plated it, right? So it is, let me see if I can get it closer so you can see it there. So it's really pretty. It's like that peacocky blue color. And they call it mystic topaz because it's like been plated with titanium. And that's what it looks like. And I've seen these too, like the clear, they'll take the clear topaz and they'll plate it with titanium and it looks like aurora borealis. It's really beautiful, you know. So and again, I can't remember how the plating goes, how they do the plating, but this is a mystic topaz. Okay, put this in here. So I have different forms, and I know I have more different topaz than this, but I couldn't find it today. All right, so um, the history and folklore of topaz is kind of funny and strange. The name is possibly derived from a Sanskrit word, topaz. All right. Hey, Rebecca. Uh, and the topaz means fire. So if you ever see like a really beautiful raw crystal topaz. You're going to see it's so brilliant. The colors are brilliant and they're beautiful. They look like little flames. So they'll go up like orange all the way up. They'll go through up from orange to like pink, all the way up to the golds, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. All right. So ancient Egyptians loved topaz. The thing is that they were calling peridot topaz. Okay. And so because the peridot that they were mining looked like topaz, and also, their sun god Ra, it's yellow. Anything yellow goes with Ra because it's yellow. And it's like the sun, right? So they called peridot topaz because the peridot that's over where they were mining it is more yellow than green. Okay. It doesn't look exactly like a topaz because, like, remember I told you 8-sided, and it looks kind of like a tourmaline on the outside. So peridot does not look like that. All right. So that's the Egyptian thing. All right. Most authorities agree that the name topaz comes from Topazios, the old Greek name for a small island in the Red Sea, now called Zabargad. Okay, the island never produced topaz, but it was once a source of peridot, which was confused with topaz before development of modern technology or mineralogy. Some scholars trace the origin back to Sanskrit. Like I said, the word topaz means fire. So you don't want to like mess up the peridot and the topaz, because peridot is going to come out like kind of like a nugget. It doesn't have really form or structure. It's volcanic. Okay, so yay! Yeah, I love topaz. Topaz is a happy stone. All right, so it clarifies intent linked to a higher purpose, helping a person pursue a higher path. All right, so it clears the solar plexus chakra of negativity. In healing layouts, you want to do the same thing with the topaz as a citrine, placing it on the third eye or over the solar plexus to help clear the chakras. Okay, you can also use topaz as a gem remedy, and if you get a big enough piece, a piece that can fit in your hand, you can hold it while meditating. All right, so here's the argument with the topaz, because everybody wants to claim topaz, right? Because it's the imperial topaz, especially because it's called imperial topaz uh, by reigning monarchs. So first, topaz is a true expression of fire energy, and it has been associated with it since ancient times and in many cultures. So topaz is a stone of nobility, love, passion, and purpose. Because of its fiery energy, this sun-filled gemstone is certainly associated with self-esteem and good fortune. And I wanted to show this again since some of you came in late, is that one of the things that I keep in my money bag when I do shows is a $2 bill and a citrine point. This is part of my money bag energy, okay? So I take the citrine point, I wrap it in the $2 bill to double my money. So, and it goes in my money bag so for when I do shows. All right, so Imperial Topaz, also known as precious topaz, is the rarest color of topaz. So it is a rare color, like a gem quality one. A golden orange to pink hue. So it is really beautiful. It looks like, again, a flame. Fine specimens come from Ural in Brazil and also in Russia in the Ural Mountains. Okay, The value of natural imperial topaz can vary greatly depending on the size and quality of the gemstone. So you're not going to go out and buy an imperial topaz for $10. You're going to pay thousands of dollars for it, for imperial topaz. Okay. So that's the highest, the fanciest topaz that you can get. You're going to pay thousands of dollars per carat. You will. That's just the stone itself and not the setting. Okay. Yeah. So they're very expensive, but they're very beautiful. And I have links in the show notes to where you can go and look at the museum quality gemstones when tomorrow when I get that up. All right. So um, the name for imperial topaz originated in the 19th century in Russia. Now, this is what the Russians say. At the same time, the Ural Mountains were topaz's leading source, and the pink gemstone mined there was named to honor the Russian Tsar. Ownership of the gem was restricted to royal family. Today, topaz is one of the U.S. birthstones for November. Happy birthday, November peeps. So, also, there were some other people. The Greeks also want to be able to claim that as like their royal gemstone. Also, the Romans and some. There were, I think, a couple English people were trying to claim it as well because it is the imperial topaz, right? But there's other topazes, as I said, like there's all these different colors of topaz. Just make sure that when you go to buy citrine or topaz, especially if you're buying gem quality, make sure that you talk to someone who is a gemologist, who knows what they're talking about, and who can get you a really nice specimen. It's okay if it has been heat treated. Okay. It's not going to change the stone and it's not going to change the energy of the stone. It doesn't. Um, it will enhance the color of the stone. So if you don't mind having a heat treated stone, then go for it, right? This citrine has not been heat treated. It is a very pale yellow. It's really pretty, right? So that is a non-heat treated citrine. This is been heat treated. So, and it's okay. Don't let that stop you from buying them. And I encourage everyone to go to gem and mineral shows. So if you don't know where your gem and mineral shows or the gem and mineral clubs are in your area, look them up on the internet because there's a lot of information at the gem and mineral clubs. They're always happy to help and they have classes too. So, and that way you can learn about the gems and minerals and you can take lapidary classes and there are different things that you can do there. And you can also go to the shows. I just went to a gem show on Saturday. It was so awesome, right? And I had so much fun. And I didn't even go over by, the high end stuff because I always have good luck with going through the bins and finding the best specimens in like the junk bins because I don't care if I get gem quality. I just like the gems and minerals. I think they're just beautiful. So, but just make sure if you're going to be buying something that is really fancy, that you talk to a gemologist to make sure that you're truly getting what you want. All right. Okay. So, next week, I'm going to be talking about how gratitude changes your life because November is gratitude month. And so I want you to think about what you're grateful for. What are you grateful for? And next week, when I ask you during the show, I want you to put it in the comments. So be ready, because this is gratitude month. It's November. We've had our harvest. We're getting ready for the winter time. We're going to be celebrating Thanksgiving here in America. And so, what are you grateful for? Let's let's talk about that. And how can we achieve that high resonance of gratitude? Because remember, gratitude will change your life. It really will. All right. And then Theo and I are going to be talking about archangels at the end of the month. The last two Sundays of November, Theo and I are going to go and we're going to be talking about the archangels. We're going to be talking about the seraphim, the Elohim, the cherubim, and we're going to go over the archangels that you probably know about, the fabulous four, plus some other archangels that are out there that can assist you. Okay, so it's going to be a fun month, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Remember, keep your hearts open and align with the energy of love. And I'll see you next week. Good night.